The New York Knicks are taking on the Miami Heat tonight. No Jalen Brunson. Can the Knicks get the job done? It's on NBA Prime, the NBA Cup. The Knicks are 0-1 in the tournament so far. Let's break down everything you need to know about these New York Knicks and what does the Jalen Brunson injury look like. So let's get straight into that. It was a grade 1 ankle sprain, and he will be evaluated daily. I think that this is a pretty good case scenario based off of the injury in terms of the best case scenario based off the injury. We don't want Brunson injured at all, but a grade 1 is the most mild sprain you can possibly imagine. I'm expecting Jalen to be out 1 to 2 weeks. It's early on in the season. We need JB healthy for the long haul here. So unfortunately, he went out there and injured himself late in that game against the Orlando Magic. We saw the Knicks fall to the Magic on Wednesday night, their first loss at home all season long, snapping a big winning streak. And I know that some people are like, oh, well, how come we're not giving Mike Brown the same energy that Tom Thibodeau? Why was Jalen Brunson in the game? I'm not going down that path. I promise you that. I never really cared about that type of stuff. You know, the Knicks were still in it, fighting, trying to make a comeback, and JB gets hurt. Injuries happen in this sport, man. And I think that, you know, that game against the Orlando Magic on a back-to-back, I don't really want to be that guy to make excuses for it, but the Magic, they are known to hang their hats on defense and physicality. And when the Knicks are going on a back-to-back and going up against that type of defense, that was the difference, man. It was a sloppy game filled with turnovers, and it wasn't like the Knicks were just missing shots. It just felt like they were just lackluster with the ball. So how are the Knicks going to bounce back in this game against the Miami Heat? The Heat are actually playing some good basketball, even though they have some injuries of themselves. So the question is, who's going to step up in replacement of JB tonight? I don't know who's going to start yet. I think maybe Deuce McBride can be in the starting lineup, maybe Jordan Clarkson. I do think that Mitchell Robinson's going to be playing, so the question is who's going to be that guy to step in for JB in the starting lineup, but it's not just who's going to step up for JB in the starting lineup, who's going to fill in his shoes in terms of being that number one scoring option. Will it be Karl Anthony Towns? And I think he's the guy that you look at. There's 2 All-Stars on this team, and Cat is that guy that's got to step up to be that number one option, put the team on his back. But the good news about the Knicks is they're not depending on one individual. I think the Knicks are still able to win basketball games without Jalen Brunson. OG Anunoby, he's a guy that can put the team on his back offensively. Mikal Bridges can get cooking. Deuce McBride could be that spark that we need. So I'm really excited to see how the Knicks are going to respond here, because I hope Knicks fans realize that this season is going to be all about ups and downs. We're coming off a big high, winning like 5 games straight at home or whatever it was, feeling like we're undefeated and we're never going to lose at home. Vibes are immaculate. And then now we're feeling a little bit of adversity, a loss, and now an injury to Jalen Brunson. And just like when the Knicks went on that 3-game losing streak on the road and they fell to 2-3, I was not panicking. I was not concerned. This is a long season, and it's going to be all about the ups and downs. And now we're getting a little bit of a down. So all I'm saying is, Knicks fans, please do not be one of those fans that just starts panicking when things start hitting the fan, because Mike Brown is establishing a mindset here, and he's going to be coaching on the fly to figure out how to keep this team together and how to keep dominating. Newsflash, the Knicks are not going to go 82-0. They're going to lose some games, and I think that early on in the season, we're in the middle of November here, and I feel like some fans, we get so high when we're winning, and then when we start losing, it's like, oh, you know, Mike Brown's not the guy. We should have never fired Tibbs, or this guy's overrated. This guy stinks. Like, stay even. Allow this Knicks team to learn from their mistakes. Now that the Knicks lost the game against the Magic, I feel like some people are like, yeah, we're not good anymore. You know, we're overrated. Like, relax, please. So I think the Knicks are going to have a good opportunity here tonight against a really good Miami Heat team in the NBA Cup. And I don't know, I want to ask you guys a question real quick. Do you guys value this in-season tournament? Do you care? Like, do you want the Knicks to go out there and win the NBA Cup and be competitive and go into the tournament and go on a run? Is that something you value, or you're like, there's no impact whatsoever? Because, I don't know. I feel like it's something where, yeah, I want to see the Knicks be competitive in it. It's a fun little in-season competition. But I definitely am not too passionate about the NBA Cup. I want a championship more than anything. Obviously, we can all agree on that one. But the Knicks are 0-1 in the NBA Cup. They lost their first game, and now they got to get the job done tonight if they want to be in the NBA Cup in the actual tournament when it starts in a few weeks. So that's that. But another guy I'm looking at tonight is definitely going to be, the guys around Jalen Brunson when he's injured. OG and Mikal Bridges, I think these 2 guys individually are going to have to step up offensively. But when it comes to the defense, I think that was a big reason why the Knicks were not able to beat the Orlando Magic. Their defense just was absolutely non-existent, man. They give up a lot of threes, not a lot of tenacity. They're not really hustling, and that's definitely a problem. And I think Mike Brown, the one thing thing that I'm noticing with him. He is experimenting a lot. He told these guys early on in the season, we're running a 10, 11-man rotation. And then all of a sudden, the players start complaining, like, oh, well, I'm not in the court a lot. I don't really like this. Like, they're like Jalen Brunson, Bridges, all these guys are, like, sacrificing their minutes, and they're, like, open about it to coach. I don't want this. I want to get on the court more. And then Mike Brown's like, all right, we'll go your way. And now you're seeing the Knicks start to struggle in terms of a back-to-back. And Mike Brown's philosophy is he wants to keep everybody's legs fresh. He wants to do a deep, deep rotation. And I think that it's a balance right now of Mike Brown doing what the players want and him being confident in his system. So that's something else to keep in mind, how that's going to really balance itself out. But really fun. But really curious to see what happens tonight. You guys let me know your biggest predictions and expectations without Jalen Brunson. You have any confidence of this Knicks team going after a W? The Knicks are taking on the Heat, and then they're on a deep, deep, long road trip, and the Knicks right now do not have a win on the road yet, so that's definitely something I'm going to be keeping in mind. So after tonight's game, the Knicks are taking on the Miami Heat again on Monday in Miami. Then we're in Dallas on Wednesday, and then we're in Orlando for a rematch next Saturday, in Brooklyn, in Charlotte. So the Knicks are on a 5-game road trip after tonight's game against the Miami Heat. The Knicks have a chance to have a really good homestand if they can get the job done tonight with just one loss. So you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments. Excited to see what this Knicks team is capable of. It'll be on NBA Prime. I don't know if it'll be on MSG as well, hopefully, because we all want to watch that on there. But the Knicks are 7-4, 7-5 are the Miami Heat. You guys let me know your thoughts and predictions in the comments. Hit that like button, and a big shout out to Sleeper Picks, as always, for being the proud sponsor of Knicks Media all season long. Don't forget to use the code Knicks to get a 100% deposit match up to $100. If you guys wanted to go on the Sleeper Picks, you guys can get a lot of fun stuff on their app. As you can see, I got it right here. You got Karl Anthony Towns. His lines is pretty awesome. I mean, 11.5 rebounds. That's pretty much of a lock. Cat getting 12 rebounds. And then you got Karl Anthony Towns. His line tonight is 25.5 points. He needs to get more than 25.5 if the Knicks got any chance of winning tonight. So if you want to build your player prop parlay over there on Sleeper Picks, make sure you do that. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. EST tonight. I'll see you guys over there. I'm out of here, and let's go Knicks. Peace out.